Hey everybody, Joe from Cognitive Crypto here. Going to be giving you guys your weekly crypto intel update. Got a couple things this week, starting off like normal with the Fear and Greed Index. Then we're going to talk about Robinhood and some developments there over the week. Second, we're going to talk about how you can mint your own NFT project if that's something that you're interested in. And finally, I'm going to talk to you about a cool game that is coming out on the Avalanche network called Ascenders. First, this week, like normal, we're going to just go over the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. So you can see that today and right now, and then yesterday, we're in extreme fear. So people are mostly looking at crypto at a selling point. Last week, also in the fear state. And then last month, it did get up into the greed area. And really, that just comes, although there was a mixture of fear and greed last month, just based on going 1 month ago, it was greed. So if you look at the full 1 month timeline here, you can just see that the fear and greed index really has just been trending downward since about the end of March. And that aligns directly with the price that we've been seeing. Essentially, when you look at the Bitcoin macro, it really has kind of been up or down and consolidating, but with a slow downtrend over the last month. Ideally, when you have extreme fear for a number of days, we're due for an upturn and is a point where it will become a buyer's market. It's hard to tell at this point exactly how long Bitcoin is going to trend sideways, especially given its coupling with the stock market. Second, this week, I'm going to just talk to you a little bit about Robinhood. They released their annual revenues and they were down 43% since last year. That being said, their shares were only down about 11% on the day and have actually since rebounded up from their initial losses. The share price currently sits right around $10. Again, it had dipped down into the nines, but it's now back up. For those who don't remember, Robinhood, they were the key player in the previous years when it came to meme stocks. So they were able to buy and sell GameStop. And then they also were a key player in the Dogecoin pump at the time. So speaking of Dogecoin, they do offer a cryptocurrency wallet. It is important to note that part of the revenues from crypto also fell, although that is potentially due to the idea that they are trying to offer fee-free purchases of crypto. So that's one of their marketing tactics, is that if you spend $100 on crypto, you should get $100 of crypto and not get it feed out. So without fees, it becomes difficult to generate revenue on the crypto sales. One issue that we've seen in the past with Robinhood is that both with the stocks, the meme stocks, and with the crypto, when there's periods of high volatility, sometimes they'll lock their app and you won't be able to transfer funds in or out. So we call that involuntary hodling. Involuntary hodling can happen with just about any centralized exchange. If there is periods of high volatility and the systems can't keep up, they may stop all trading in order to protect their systems, and they will say they're protecting you, but ultimately it could cause you to lose some money. So it's just something to consider if you do use the Robinhood platform, just like any other centralized exchange. Once your money's on there, again, you don't own the private keys, so they can allow or not allow you to move your crypto in and out. But it is interesting to see that their revenues fell and their stock dipped and is already back up to neutral. So maybe that does show that they have some future potential in both crypto and traditional stock trading. Second, this week, a question that I get from a lot of people is, how do you mint NFTs? If I want to mint NFTs or make my own NFT project, how can I go about that? And it wasn't something that we were ultra familiar with, although we are working on our own NFT nonprofit fundraiser at this point. So during that research, I found a great resource that I wanted to share with everybody. While working with our devs, I was introduced to a lot of terminology or methods that I wasn't exposed to previously. And one of those was just to start on how to layer an image and be able to turn it into an NFT mint or get the correct file formats in order to let the dev put that together. The resource that I found that was best for this is the YouTube channel called Code Stacker. So in their YouTube channel, Code Stacker, you can see he's got a fairly substantial amount of views. If you go over in their right-hand side, or if you just type in Code Stacker NFT 10,000, you'll find this video, which is Ultimate, create an entire NFT collection, 10,000 plus. And it doesn't require any coding experience. So I'm letting you know that this video is out there because if you do want to mint your own NFT collection, it's possible you can do it with all open source tools and for free. This very simple guide covers a couple key topics that I think are important for beginners. First, it talks about NFT layering, how to create layers in Figma or other systems in order to be prepared for the next step of NFT creation, which is generating the NFTs. And this video also covers that information on how to put the layers into a program, which will then generate your images randomly, and you can do it with different rarity levels. It does also talk about deploying it on smart contracts and finally minting your NFTs. So it takes you from basically nothing all the way to minting an entire collection of NFTs. There's going to be a couple things you're going to need in order to do this. One is a GitHub program titled Hashlips Art Engine, and he'll walk you through that during the tutorial. You'll also need Node.js and Visual Studio Code, which is called VS Code, when he's giving you the video. All three of those programs are open source tools that you can easily download, and through his video will teach you how to make NFTs. The reason I bring all this up is part of Cognitive Crypto's goals is to educate the community at large about various resources that are available to them, even in open source. And when I saw this video, I realized it was a super easy guide for anybody to be able to create NFTs and learn how the process will work, or at least give you functioning knowledge if you're going to be working with NFT artists and smart contract developers. So that's why we bring that information out to you today. And hopefully it helps you learn something a little bit deeper about NFT minting. Finally, this week, the final thing I wanted to cover was a cool game that I've been watching on the Avalanche network called Ascenders. The Ascenders game is built on three main goals: exploring, fighting, and building. It's going to be an open world RPG that has a player-driven and decentralized economy. To me, when I think player-driven economy, I'm thinking back to something like World of Warcraft, where on each individual server that they had, there was an economy that ran differently and had different values assigned to different items based on how that individual server's player base decided to price out their items. Here's the website and some of the gameplay. On Twitter now, you can actually see some screenshots of current gameplay that's available, and their screenshots like this one look very similar to the gameplay that is available. They will have two tokens associated with this game. One is going to be the Ascenders Governance Council, or their governance token, and this will give owners a voice when it comes to the direction of the game itself. And then you can see it also will allow stakers and players to earn in this token. Also, you're going to have the Glow Gem token, which is going to be the in-game currency and will be used to buy and sell items or work within the player-driven economy. It should be noted too that they're going to be placing this game onto an Avalanche subnet. So we saw DeFi Kingdoms Crystal Veil get put onto an Avalanche subnet, and this will be running on its own Avalanche subnet when they go for final release. Also, just so everybody knows, the Ascenders Governance Council token is scheduled to release in May of 2022. So coming up pretty shortly. Definitely would, if it's a game that you're interested in, we'll get into the Discord to stay aware of the public sale of the token. Talking about gameplay, I think, is important because that's a huge part of GameFi, and games should be fun. And if they're not, people won't want to play them. So looking right now, if you go in, you can download their beta testing, and they've released two initial game types. First is going to be the combat challenge, or you can test out the combat or the fight portion of the game. And the second one is called Racing Robot Event, which essentially you're guiding this rolling robot through a variety of hoops and trying to beat the current time of everybody else. Currently, they have a Discord contest running for anybody who gets really good at the game, records videos, provides educational content to the community to win part of a 50,000 Ascenders Governance Council token pool that will be released likely when either just before or right after the public sale of the token. So this is good news for anybody who's really in the GameFi. There's an opportunity for you to both play this new game in its early stages and then also maybe win some tokens. Either way, when I look at GameFi, I've seen a lot of different games with limited gameplay, and this one looks like one of the better ones that's going to be released out there. So I'm definitely excited to be able to play this game in the future and maybe be a part of the community. And you'll have to make the decision for yourself on whether you want to be part of the community, but I think it's a great opportunity to at least have some fun while playing with crypto. That concludes everything I have for you guys this week for the weekly crypto intel update. And if you liked the video or learned something this week, definitely go ahead and smash that like or subscribe button for us. It'll help us grow our community base, and hopefully we can provide additional education to a larger audience in the future. With that, I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.